the Wall with Pink Floyd. 1990, he tore it down in Berlin. Now, 2010, he returns with his masterpiece of rock theater, Roger Waters' The Wall.
Well, if you are familiar with Pink Floyd, you will know who Roger Waters is. And yes, The Wall is coming once again, and you're going to become very familiar with our next guest.
Yes, Robbie Wyckoff is joining us, recording artist and lead vocalist on Roger Waters' The Wall.
Hi, Robbie.
How are things in your world, Robbie?
Things are fantastic.
So
Can't complain.
How this all came about. You are a musician. You have been for a very long time. But how did you get this plum gig?
Oh boy, I tell you what, it's a dream come true for me because I've always been a huge Pink Floyd fan.
Well, and when you hear the story and stuff, I mean, you know, it's not like you're plucked out of obscurity. I mean, you've been doing this for ages. People are probably familiar with your work, whether they kind of know it or not.
You've probably heard my voice on, several television shows and some film stuff. So I've been doing.
So how did you find out about the audition for Roger Waters?
Actually, it was through a friend of mine. I was just finishing up my album that I'm currently working on, and at the tail end of that, as we're mixing it up, I got a phone call, and he asked me, because he goes, I'm good friends with Roger Waters, and so we've been trying to find some singers.
And you're
for
like,
this.
yeah, whatever.
Well, first I went, how do you know Roger? He never told me. He goes, well, I sang with Pink Floyd back in '80 and '81. He did the tour and sang on the record. I'm like, oh my gosh, you never told me
Yeah, you've been keeping this.
I know, you're holding back on me. So that, I was really excited about that. But then he said that Roger's been trying to find a singer to replace David Gilmour because David didn't want to do the tour anymore.
Yeah.
So he goes, do you think you can get close to his sound? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, I think I can get really close. So.
Well, and this is one of those things that you've become renowned for, and what's really sort of kept you working so much over the years is your vocal range and your ability to sing in all kinds of different styles it's almost unprecedented. I mean, how did you discover this? I mean, when you were a kid, because not many people can sing with so much range, right?
Yeah. Well, I've always been pretty good at kind of mimicking my favorite artist, or trying to keep it in that style.
Yeah.
And then, just being a session singer for different projects as far as, a lot of film and stuff, you have to be kind of a very versatile singer.
Yeah, you become a chameleon, I guess,
yeah,
in a little bit of a...
Yeah, and especially with live entertainment, too. I do a lot of shows with my band back in L.A., and it's very diverse from, big band music from Sinatra to AC/DC to everything in between, Motown, and even a lot of country stuff.
And your own album that people will get their hands on sometime in the fall, I guess?
Yeah, we're planning on a release this fall.
It's jazz standards.
Why are you putting your album on hold? I mean, what's keeping that up, man?
Exactly.
But what a juxtaposition to Pink Floyd's music, too. Jazz standards for you. Why did you make that choice that was going to be what you were going to do your album of?
Well, it's... jazz standards, I've always loved those, and it started out with a really talented artist named Robin McKell, and I was hired to do a duet with her. It was a Frank Sinatra cover, and from that, once I sang that, the producer heard my voice, and he was just like, oh my gosh, he approached me, he goes, I love your voice, you sound fantastic. I would love to do a record with you in this style. And I said, this has always been a big dream of mine.
Well, I was going to say, obviously the music resonates with you. I mean,
it sure does, yeah.
When you hear it and stuff. What is it? Is it style? Because I'm always curious, because some people, when they sing that style of music, it just works so well, right? But you have to have that inside you where there's something that you can attach yourself to in it.
Yeah.
What is it for you? Do you know? Is it just...
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just, a lot of it's just the music really moves me a lot, and you hear the horns come in and the drummers swinging really hard. And it's
just old school.
And plus the music's so timeless,
Yeah. Okay, back to this Roger Waters thing.
This little thing.
You put your stuff on tape. I mean, how did you decide which songs you were going to do, and how did you record it? Because, I mean, time was of the essence as well. They've been looking for somebody for a very long time, but how did you decide what to put on tape, and then what happened?
Well, when I got the call from my friend, and he called me up, and he actually gave me some choices. He said, here's the songs I want you to do, which was Hey You, Comfortably Numb, and Young Lust. and then what was the other? I think there was one other one. But anyways, those are the main three. So I went ahead and have those tracks at home. And what I did is I have a home studio. And I just sang along with the original tracks, and kind of studied Gilmour a little bit, but not, because first it was like I thought they wanted like a dead-on mimic of Gilmour, so I got really close, and then changed his mind. So, well, Roger doesn't want something so close, so you can kind of be yourself. So I did that. Yeah, and so after that, I just sent them my a cappella vocal which is, you know, just my naked voice with no music behind it at all. And since I sang to the original track, I believe
the timing and everything else.
And he sent that to the engineer, and then he mixed that into the actual Wall album and sent it to Roger.
How much of a head trip for you for this to be happening?
It was unbelievable, especially when I went to Lake Tahoe to record some more songs.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what format. And he goes, well, let's just bring up the master recordings, and we'll just. I'm like, what, the masters? The Wall record? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, let's try that.
So I did sing, you know, 6 tunes on there, and then he put my voice up into the mix. And
what was it like to hear that in the studio?
It was unbelievable. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's me on the Wall record, but it kind of sounds like Gilmore, but you know, it was mind blowing.
Now you've had the good fortune of being out on big tours, big audience, and stuff like that. Because I think you're going to need to fall back on some of that. When you look at the tour dates that you have, it's pretty crazy. I mean,
it is.
Madison
Couple
Square
of big venues,
Boston Garden,
the arena here, everything else. I mean, there's going to be lots of people there. Do you notice? I mean, when you're on stage, because you've had this experience, and I don't think I've ever asked anyone this. How far in can you see? Like, are you cognizant of the crowd and sort of what's going on?
You know, pretty much you can only see, like, you know, because of the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
You can only see maybe, I don't know, it depends on the venue, but maybe 10 rows out or something.
Thank goodness.
Thank God, right? I know.
If you can light up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, Robbie, you found this out that you had this gig a couple of months back. How are you preparing yourself? Because, I mean, this is amazing. This is a dream. You grew up with this music and all that stuff, but you have to be physically, emotionally, and musically ready for this. How are you getting ready for the big tour?
Well, of course, I'm studying the music like crazy, and, which I have been for a while.
Yeah.
And just, you know, it's kind of weird because to be honest with you, I've never really done a tour on this level before, so I'm not sure quite what to expect. So I'm totally preparing myself musically, you know, of course, learning the material and. Yeah, and getting my head straight. I still kind of pinch myself.
I can see you pinching yourself.
You know, it's just like.
But you know, you have those. You know, you just get those moments in life, right? You know, those little opportunities where you get to do something that's just outside of what most people are going to have a chance to experience, and I think that's got to be the fun part, right? It's just you know, you sort of built a life doing that all the way through. It's got to give your head a shake a little bit sometimes that it continues to go. And
it's unbelievable, man. I just I'm so looking forward to this. And Roger was so great when I met him, and very, you know, gracious and complimentary and.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Robbie,
I could watch you struggle with this all day long.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And very nice to meet you. We'd love to talk to you again when the tour is on, and about your album too, which will be out in the fall. Robbie Wyckoff is a name you'll be very familiar with very, very soon, because of course the tour dates have been announced, and if you want to check them out, you can find out the information on the screen.
They're going to be here in Vancouver Friday, December 10th at the arena, and we will keep you updated on Robbie's solo album, Loose Control, which will be coming out sometime in the fall as well. And like
Thanks
Fiona
again.
said, we'd love to have you back.
You're so welcome.
Man.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Carissa Tynes will be joining us. She plays Krista in a movie called 16 Wishes, which premieres tonight on the Family Channel about 2 girls celebrating their 16th birthday. I remember being a young girl and celebrating it.
I remember that too. It got kind of weird.
It was crazy.
Yeah.